Here we go. Good morning, good morning. Okay, I had to go on to MiamiMikeRadio.com. Good morning, everybody. What the hell is today? Thursday. Thursday. Meanwhile, I have a headache today because I don't know. I think I had 2 drinks yesterday, which I told myself I wasn't gonna do, and I did. And my head is retaliating since last night, actually. So I moved the fan to the opposite side of my room. Not sure if that's making a difference or not, if it sounds any less horrific. But now it's like rattling because the thing like moves. It does like its own thing. So I hope that will subside. But all right, whatever. It is what it is. If not, I'd be melting in here. But if that continues to rattle like that, I may have to move it. All right, so good morning, everybody. Do me a favor, tag a friend, share out the video. These numbers are sunken moose cock right now. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Share it out, tag it out, do something. Because I'm not talking to myself today. I got way too much shit to do to be talking to myself. So let's go. Good morning, Carmela, my love. How are you? Good morning, Tamara. Oh my God, that's gonna annoy me. Who else is here? Hi, Sky. Good morning. Facebook user. I don't know who that is, but okay. It's I see a good morning, Karen, Facebook user. Again, if you guys are on my personal page, please, if you want me to see your name, if you want to see the other people commenting, please go to the professional pages, whether it be the Real Talk Coffee Talk group or the Karen Stacy page, not my personal. So if you're on my personal page and you're wondering why I can't see your name and you're wondering why no one is on there, that's why. I do it as a courtesy so that you guys can get the alert, since so many of you, even though I say it every single time, please hit the thumbs up button on the Karen Stacy page, turn your notifications on, please join the Real Talk Coffee Talk group and invite your friends. Then I wouldn't have to go live on my Facebook page, my personal page, because you guys would already be in the other pages. But since we got thick-headed people, we got to do what we got to do. You know what I'm saying? But listen, my phone blows up every time you guys share. So my phone should keep lighting up. This one shared, that one shared, this one shared. Whatever groups you got, whatever pages, whatever, share it out. Share it out. Let's get people in on the conversation. For anybody that is new to Coffee Talk with Karen, please say good morning when you are on. And when we talk about, our topics of the day, make sure that you comment so that we can all weigh in. Because, I have to say that I had the greatest compliment. I don't know if I shared this with you guys or not. But I was, like chit-chatting with a friend of mine a couple of days ago. And, there was something that went on. And I my usual self, I try to, give people a different way to look at things. And I guess, it works because depending on the person, because not everybody wants to see anything other than the way they want to see it, right? But I got a text the next day, and the text was, you know what, thank you for always giving me a different perspective on something. I didn't look at it that way. So I always appreciate your perspective on things. And I always say in life, right, it's all about perspective because, we talked about this before, right? The glass is half empty, the glass is half full. So it really is all about perspective. And I might have to shut this fan off because that noise is going to make me insane in the membrane. Can you guys hear that? I don't know if you can hear it or not. It's like rattling now. but the mic usually picks up a lot, so could be. All right. Anyway, let me see. I see some of you guys are jumping on. But yeah, I mean, guys, life is all about perspective, and it's just how you look at things. People can look at things in a horrible way, or people can look at things in a positive way. It really just depends. I do feel that everything that happens to us in life molds us into the person that we are. All right, I'm going to have to kill that fan because that noise is making me insane in the membrane. All right, hold on. I'm going to play this while I go and do that. I'll be with you in a minute.
Yeah, baby, if you missed our last two events, you missed a lot of fun with great people that know how to party. Go, girl. Go, mama. Nothing better than the old school mature crowd making new friends, making new memories, and living life as it's meant to be. Together, having fun, and enjoying ourselves. My name is Karen Stacy, and I have my own talk show. She can't sing for the elderly. Make sure you tune into my talk show, Coffee Talk with Karen, weekdays at 11 a.m. And make sure you tune into Real Talk with Karen Stacy, Tuesday evenings. You can find me on all social media platforms. Make sure you follow. Make sure you subscribe. You can find me on all podcast platforms as well. So we keep it old school. We have fun, and it's great people meeting great people. Let's spread some love and light in this world and get back to living again. I can't wait to see you guys soon. Made so many great memories, so many new friends. I don't know. It's freaking awesome, man. So I will see you guys really, 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 really soon. Don't forget to tune in. I love ya. Bye.
All right, I'm back. Sorry, I had to jump off for a second so that I could shut that fan. I mean, how much better is that now? You know what? I'm so anal, and that just sounded horrible, so I couldn't help but turn that off. All right, so let me check in with everybody. Thanks for tuning in to Coffee Talk with Karen. We were just talking a little bit about like perspective. So I'm gonna read your comments now and say good morning to everybody. Excuse me, I'm gonna ask you again to please share out the video and to please tag your friends, share it out to your groups. Today I wanted to talk about change. Are you capable of changing? So that's going to be my topic of the day. So I have a Facebook user. Good morning, Karen. I cannot see your name. Let me see. Bob, good morning. Hello, my Karen. I cannot see your name. It just says Facebook user. Good morning. Let me see. Andrea, good morning. Sky watching, I share. Thank you, Mama. Let me see. Savion, good morning. How are you? Hold on. Where am I? Okay, went there and signed up. Now what? Well, I'm not really sure what that question means. Can't hear it. Oh, you didn't hear the phone. The fan. I gotta tell you, I'm so anal, Andrea. I can't. It was making me crazy, so I had to shut it off. Good morning, Jimmy. I have a lot of people. You must be on my personal page saying good morning. I cannot see your names. If your glass is half full or empty, you still have the glass. That's true. Good morning, Alyssa. How are you? Let's do me a favor, you guys. Share this video out for me. Tag your friends. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. You know how to do. Come on. Come on. Where are all my morning people? Where you at? Where you at? It's Thirsty Thursday. Y'all are drinking already? Yeah, my head hurts a little bit today. I forced myself to get up and get at them today. Again, if you guys are on my personal page, I cannot see a lot of your names. So I see a Facebook user, good morning all. Try and jump on to the Karen Stacy page, or try and jump on to the group if you want me to be able to see who you are. Okay, so my question is, and I know we've talked about this, but I want to talk about it. Yes, I see you, Gina. I want to talk about change. Can you change? Do you think people have the ability to change? Hey, Wendy. Hey, Carlos. Good morning. Do you have the ability to change? Do people have the ability to change? So again, really open-ended, right? Now, first of all, like talking about change, like you see, I look like shit this morning. I really did not do much of anything to get myself together because my plan for the day, because the weather, Mother Nature is going to shit on us again today. So my plan, as I had mentioned to you guys, like my room is so unorganized. Actually, my whole house is half a wreck, but I got to start somewhere, right? So my room is so unorganized, and I'm going to tell you, I like stuff. So, you know, like after my husband died, my cousin's wife came over, and she's like, oh, we have to go through all this stuff. She went into my son's room. She said all he needs is, 5 pairs of this, 5 pairs of that, 5 pairs of this, 5 pairs of that. And she threw everything out. And the drawers were great because, there was like 2 things in the drawers. But I get very nervous when, like, those things are not full because, first of all, I'm not doing laundry every other minute because my kid only has 5 outfits. That's number 1. Number 2, who the hell knows when you're ever going to have, seriously speaking, you're going to have the financial ability to, make these purchases, right? So now, everybody says, okay, well, if you get something, you have to throw something out. Yeah, right. No. So, I wonder if I have the ability to change because I don't know if I'm a pack rat, but I'm definitely very attached to my stuff. And I don't like people touching my stuff or taking my stuff. So I told you guys I am a clothes whore. I love clothes. And I threw out shoes that, oh, you don't wear those, you got to get rid of them. I can never find them again, and they come back into style. So, that being said, you gotta find spots for the stuff, right? So that's the issue, is finding spots. Like, one of my dearest friends, she is like Miss Organizer, right? She's showing me pictures because she's in her daughter's room, and she's like, you see all these clothes? I gotta do something with this. And I'm like, if you were to see what my room looks like right now, like, you would kill me. So, you're going to laugh at me. When I was in the bathroom this morning, I went on YouTube and, Googled how to organize a room. Now, I think a lot of this also has to do with the way you were brought up. So, my girlfriend that I was just speaking of said her mother, was very strict. And, 3 o'clock in the morning, she would wake them up and dump everything on the floor and make them reorganize everything. Now, obviously, that's a crazy tactic, right? And if we did that now, we'd be in jail for child, endangerment or something, right? But when you do that to your child brings that with them. I'm not telling you to torture your kids. Well, a little bit. No, but, when you are brought up that way, you're accustomed to things being a certain way. Right? So it sticks with you as you get older. And I was not brought up that way. My mom was very career oriented. Everything revolved around, we had a dance school, everything revolved around that, everything. And, my mother would rather pay somebody to clean the house and she'd be at work. So I never really learned any of that growing up. And then my father was the one that cooks, and he didn't like anybody in the kitchen with him when he cooked, right? So I grew up without really, I love my parents to death, don't get me wrong, but like no one taught me any of that stuff. So like when I first got, it was a funny story. I went to a dance camp. I don't know how old I was. I think it was about 15 years old, right? And it was away. And so I had to do laundry for the first time. And the funny thing is that my girlfriend, who was a couple of years older than me, may she rest in peace, that she became my best friend that I told you was murdered by her boyfriend. And we didn't know how to do laundry. So we, like, these guys were there or whatever, and we asked them, and they told us what to do and stuff. Like, we were clueless, right? So, I never really knew. And then when I came home, I never continued to do the laundry because the lady did the laundry. So, fuck if I'm going to do it, right? So then when I was 21 and I moved out, I had no idea how to do anything. I didn't know how to go food shopping. I didn't know from a coupon. I didn't know from none of that stuff, right? And so my brother-in-law actually like took me to ShopRite. I was like, oh my God, what is this? Because my mother used to go to like these little mom and pop places in the neighborhood. They have like, 10 types of fruits and 5 kinds of vegetables and your meat and your this, your that. Remember that? Like those smaller stores that they charge you more money, but, you can get in and out of them. So, that was the way I was accustomed to going food shopping when I would go with my mother. So I think that, so again, when I got my own place and I was 21 years old, I had no idea what the hell I was doing. I didn't know how to cook. I didn't know how to clean. I didn't know how to shop. I didn't know how to do laundry. If I tell you, so I don't know if you guys like ever did this, but we were in an apartment building and we had the portable washing machine, and you hook it up to the sink. I don't know how, I'm going back a long time now, right? I'm going back 30 years. So you click it onto the sink and then the water goes in and then there's like the hose and the water comes out, right? You know how many times I forgot to hook up the fucking hose or the out one and I flooded the entire kitchen? How my husband never killed me, well, boyfriend at the time, right? I mean, like, I'm a spaz like that. And I'm, and then I'm like, I could do it. And then, of course, I flood the freaking thing, and the neighbors from downstairs are coming upstairs. We got a leak, and I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, what did I do? But, I don't know if you guys, so, like, I've been winging it since I'm 21 years old. I'm not going to lie. I've been winging it. And domestication is not my strong suit. I love to cook. I love to food shop. I like to do those things. But when it comes to organization and cleaning, I am still not your girl. So, like, if you want to be with me, just get a cleaning lady and we'll be fine. I'll cook for you. I'll food shop. I'll do all that. I got no problem with it. But when it comes to organizing, and then if I don't see it, I don't know it's there, which is bad, right? Because, out of sight, out of mind, because, you want things put away. But when I put things away, I forget about them. So, like, bills, what do you guys do with your bills? Like, I need to, like, tape it on the fucking wall so I remember. If I don't do it through my phone to automatically pay, I'm like, oh, I forgot to pay the Con Ed while it shuts off on me, right? I don't know if you guys are like this, but I'm just saying how I am. And I really, really, like, aspire to not be that way, right? But at 51 years old, do you think I can change? So my answer is probably. If you want something bad enough, you'll do it, right? But I just find that you end up reverting back because that's what you know, right? So like I'm trying with my son. My son knows how to do laundry. My son knows how to cook some things. He can, make himself lunch. He can make himself a snack. He can do his own laundry, and he's 12. So some may think like, oh my God, like, why do you make him do that? Well, because no one ever made me do it. And I didn't know what the hell I was doing, at 21 years old. So I want my son to not be like that. And so, yeah, even though I may not know how to clean and organize well, I'll go in his room and I'll act like I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm like, oh, look at this. And I'll like do all this stuff, right? Which I don't know what I'm doing, but I know it don't look right. And so now we gotta like figure out what to do with it. But I like stuff. I like a lot of stuff. And I don't care if I haven't worn an outfit in 2 years. It don't mean I'm not going to wear it again one of these fucking days. So when if you haven't worn it in 2 years, throw it out. No, not throwing it out. Find a place for me to put it where it's organized. I'm not throwing out that outfit. Meanwhile, I am such like on top of these things that what's funny is that I wore, so some of you guys, when I was on the boat on Saturday, I had my little floral outfit on. I've had that probably, I don't even know how long. It's probably over 20 years, maybe more. And I wore it for one of the Miami Mike radio events like years ago. And I was saying to myself, I don't know if I could wear this again because people saw me in this outfit. Like, this is how like deranged I am, right? And I'm like, and then I'm going, so what? It's not the same people. And like, it's the perfect, event to wear this outfit to. But like, I got issues. I do. I have issues. I have like, I'm telling you, I need my own house just for my shit. So I'm watching on this YouTube video, like under bed organizers and all of these kind of things. So God only knows, I just need like a cubicle everywhere in my house to just throw things in. But then when they're out of sight, out of mind, I don't know where the hell they are and I don't know what they are. So help! No. But seriously, so my question is, like, I'm just giving you an example, right? So my question is, can we change? Like, do you think that I can like get to the point where I can be organized enough that I can keep my stuff, but it won't look like who done it and ran? So let me see, because you guys are all talking. Okay. So Gina said it's very hard to change. It's up to the individual if they want to change. There's a saying, a leopard can't change its spots. That is true. And again, I don't know if I believe that though, because I think that if we change the way we think, we change certain things, then I think that we do have the ability, to make changes. I think the hard part is making the changes, like, in terms of, like I said, sticking to them, right? And honestly, a lot of it has to do with ignorance to these things. People that do these, that live this way, have a science to what they do, right? So if somebody isn't kind enough to teach you that, then how do you learn it and then implement it, right? I got to see things. I'm a visual person. So, I've always been bad with stuff like this. So like my nephew's mom used to come over. She's always anal. She used to come over like once a year and help me like refold all my clothes and organize my room or whatever. And, when you're younger, you seem to have that more. When you get older, it's like, listen, I got my own house to organize. I ain't organizing yours, right? So like, I was talking to my girlfriend and, I'm like, okay, well, great. When you come back to New York, like, I need you to like help me do this because, I really need help with this. And I want to make that change, but like, sometimes we don't know how to make the change, right? And that's, I think, with a lot of things in life, right? A lot of us want to change our lives, right? Maybe we want to change our appearance. Maybe we want to improve our health. Maybe we want to stop having these negative thoughts. Maybe we want to change the dialogue inside of our heads. Maybe we want to get a different perspective. How do you do that? So this is the reason why I'm here every day, right? Because I want to help you guys have a different perspective. I want you guys to say, well, if she can do it, I can do it. Or if I can do it, she can do it. You know what I mean? So that's what I try to bring to your attention. Whoa, what, did I say something wrong? The numbers went like they jumped down like in half. What's going on here? Where is everybody? Share this video out. Share it to your friends. Tag your friends. What? I guess you guys can't change? Is that what it is? I can't say for sure. Pauline, good morning. Pete, good morning. Wendy, I have a lot of stuff in my room too. I'm glad to know that there are other people like you. You have to put everything on your bed and go through it piece by piece. Yes, and I mean, that's going to be one of my plans that I will probably be doing. But I can go through it piece by piece, but then I have to have some place to put it. So that's the that's where it goes into thing, because like I said, I got to figure out, yes, there are things I could throw out because, like, you know, that shirt I was wearing yesterday, which I really like, it's like a little flowy kind of thing. It has like 2 little holes in it I saw. So I'm like, all right, that got to go in the garbage. But now, like, oh, I love this shirt, right? Well, can I wear it just when I go to the pool? No, throw it out. It has holes in it. You know what I mean? But this is how I am. I'm attached. I'm like, you know, I got issues. Let me see who else is saying what. I guess I lost you all because I went off on a tangent. I'm sorry. Tom, oh my God, thanks for making me feel so old. Oh, that was probably talking about the washing machine, Tom. Yeah, I know. I hear ya. Let's talk about hoses. Bob, you're so silly. Who else is on here? Okay, Gina, I had a list of chores to do by end of Saturday afternoon, or I didn't get my allowance. I was also taught to do laundry by age 12. I was always in the kitchen with my mom and dad, and I'm grateful. It made me very independent. So the funny thing is, Gina, I've always been extremely independent, but again, maybe I'm wrong, but independence to me meant being able to pay the bills. So that was the way I was raised. My mother raised me to be able to take care of myself, and more so financially, right? So I wasn't raised to take care of myself in terms of eating. It was like, make enough money and you can order food. I mean, that was the way that I was raised. And so I went from this, like, you know, money-making, career-oriented person to a stay-at-home mom. So you tell me how the tables went whoop. So, you know, I mean, I'm a very good mom, but on the other stuff, I don't know, you know, I'm still working on that. But that was the way I was raised. I was raised that you don't depend on nobody, you know, financially. You do what you got to do. You work. I had 3 jobs most of my life. You know, you make your own money and you don't rely on anybody. So, you know, it's been hard for me when I had to kind of let that go when my son became my priority, right? So I don't know if any of you guys experienced that as well, but that's my thing. Hey, Michael Stamos in the building. I'm building closets. See, now that's the other thing that you guys, seriously, like, I got nerve. My closet in my bedroom, it's like one of those big double-doored closets. So my husband put all shelving in it on a slant, and it's completely covered with shoes, top to bottom. And I still don't have enough space for my shoes. I have other things that I have shoes in. And you can go fuck yourself if you think I'm throwing out any of them. And I have a box of shoes that I was supposed to be, like, I put up on Poshmark or something to try to sell or whatever, and that didn't go nowhere. So that box of shoes has been sitting in my hallway, I don't even know for how long. Like, I got to just get rid of it. And here's the funny thing, donating stuff. You know, years ago, they would come and pick stuff up for you. Now, if you want them to pick stuff up, it's like 2 months before they can come. So, you know, I donated to something. They actually came to do a pickup on my block, and I happened to have just seen the truck when I went outside. I was like, oh my God, I have bags. Can I give them to you? And he was like, yeah. And then I read these, well, not read, but I saw on TV, especially during the pandemic, you know, all those like drop-off places that they have, those like big kiosks, that the people are not getting the stuff. Like, I don't know what's happening to it, but people aren't even getting the stuff. So like, that pisses me off. If I think I'm donating and helping somebody and then they're not even getting that stuff, that pisses me off. So, you know, I know that's the other thing too. So you want to get rid of things, you want to give them away. Who do you give them to? You know? Andrea, I still have some stuff from my high school days. There you go. You know, listen, I don't know if I still have that stuff. So Rosie said minor changes, maybe. Michael, if there's a will, there's a way. My husband always said that. Put stuff in closets and bins and keep a chart with locations of outfits, shoes, belts, pockets, boots, etc. Okay, so see, like right there, Michael, you lost me. Keep a chart? Are you kidding me right now? Keep a chart. There, my Danielle is here. She just said, throw it away. No! And Danielle does that. She has lists of bin 1, bin 2, bin 3, and everything in there. So when her husband was looking for something, she's like, it's in bin 2, which is it. Are you kidding me right now? There is no way in hell. I mean, I love it, but if somebody else does it. Like, my husband would keep track of all the important papers and stuff, which unfortunately bit me in the ass when I didn't know where everything was, but that's a whole other show. And, you know, so, like, I'm the type, like, I'm like, okay, here's my passport, put it someplace so we know where it is, et cetera, et cetera. So, like, I know my strengths and my weaknesses, and that's not one of them. But I guess, you know, you could label stuff. I mean, I have my Cricut maker, so I just got these things. I ordered them if they're ever going to deliver it from Amazon. And maybe I can do cool things on the outside of them, because I have to have things that close so that nobody sees when you don't fold it or whatever, right? So, you know, I'm sure I can do something with that. But I do think it's very hard to change. And like I said, it's harder. Well, it's definitely hard to change if someone else is asking you to change, right? So, like, if I'll give an example, right? So, if you're a smoker and your spouse hates smoke, or significant other, whatever you want to call them, you're never going to quit because they told you to quit. You're only going to quit because you choose to quit, right? No one's going to make you do that. No one is going to make you change. Only you can make yourself change. People that want to get into better health, get into better shape, you could go to a trainer, you could do whatever the hell you want to do, but if you don't make that change yourself and continue to live that way, nothing you've done will ever work, because you have to make a change and commit to it. So, I am going to do my very, very best to try to make some changes and get myself more organized. And you know what? I did a lot a couple of years ago after my husband passed and my house was falling apart and it looked like hell and I have nobody to help me do things. I was like, I just don't like the way nothing looks. So I got into this new thing where I like wallpapered the whole house, right? So maybe if somebody comes that knows what they're talking about and knows what they're looking at and they're in construction, they're going to look at me and go, ew. But you know what? I was able to make it look presentable, and I didn't need anybody else to help me do it. I did it by myself. And I get into these modes where I will just do it. So I'm feeling the mode. I'm feeling the mode, and I'm feeling it coming, because I'm at the point now where I am ready to throw shit out. But I'm not throwing, just because I didn't wear the outfit in 2 years does not mean I'm throwing out the outfit. I'm just telling you guys that right now. But I will do my best to organize it in a manner in which it works. So I am going to try and make that change, because the truth of the matter is this. I have so much stuff that if I had another human being that shared my space with me, as in, you know, my dream man that's coming to me, there'd be no space for him. So it's like, I don't want to move in with you. I don't want to marry you. We can continue to live in separate places, and we can convene certain days out of the week or whatever, but I have no room in my house for you to put your shit in my stuff, okay? So whatever guy, when he comes from, you know, above and God sends him to me, he better have like an overnight, like, you know, bag, so that his shit stays there, because I got no room for your stuff. Which is bad, because you have to, if you don't make room in your life for things and for people, then those things and people will never come to you, right? Because that is the law of attraction. So we have to make sure that we are opening ourselves up for amazingness to come to us. And you cannot, especially like in your bedroom, they say like it's so important to have that zen, right? You know, like when you get in your bed and, you know, the minute you lay down in your bed and you get that comfortable position and you go, oh, life is good, right? There's no better feeling than that. When you get into your bed at night and you feel calm, God willing, you feel safe, God willing, and you're at peace. But when your room looks like Saudi Arabia, it's very difficult to be at peace, right? So it is important to organize your life so that you can organize your mind and your thoughts. So as far as change, I think we are all capable of change. So I'm going to read through these comments, and I'm going to ask you again. Do you feel that people are capable of changing? Can we teach an old dog new tricks? Alyssa said most people can change, some for the better and some for the worse. You know what? Really good point on that one, Alyssa. I've known a lot of people that have changed for the worse. And you know what's bad about that is that when people change for the worse, I know for me personally, I have someone in my life that I feel did change for the worst. And instead of me recognizing that this is who they are now, I keep thinking that I know who they really are. So therefore, they're just going through something. And I try to forgive it, right? Do any of us do this? But then I say to myself, yeah, but this is who they are now. So, like, they've changed. So now you have to change the way you think about them. But again, it's hard to do, because when you saw a different side to somebody and you know somebody has the compassion, you know somebody can be, you know, there for you, it's hard to let it go because you know their capabilities, but yet they're not following through on their potential. So we should be the one that, like, okay, you changed and you changed towards them. But for some reason, I always have this like compassionate heart where I know somebody's going through something and I know something changed them. And even though I don't like who they changed into, I keep thinking that maybe they'll come back. Because like I just said, you know, you go back to, you always revert back. Or not always, but a lot of times we do. So I don't know. Andrea, I had a very small bedroom next to my room. I turned into a closet and had my ex put in built-ins for me. Best thing ever. So Andrea, I have a small room that is a closet as well. My husband put poles all around it, and it's not the best configuration. Like, I really, really need somebody to like reconfigure that room where, yes, it's done, where you have a built-in and everything has a space and a purpose. So I do agree with that. And if you have, somebody handy that can do that, or you have the money to have one of these closet people or whatever come in, I think it's, probably the best thing, especially if you're somebody like me that, is just like upside down. Little chores are good for kids. Yes, they are. Have somebody there because you want them. They are not because you feel need them. There is, be financially responsible for yourself. Absolutely. MC Willa Skrilla, what's going on? Sounds like you need a bigger apartment or house. Yeah, I know. That's the whole thing. My house is not, it's not big, but it's not small, and there's 2 people living in it right now, Andrea. So, like, I need to, figure this shit out. Karen, yes, that's exactly how I was raised. Been working and supporting myself since I was 16 years old and raising my kids the same way. I get you, Alyssa. I started working when I was 12. Imelda Marcos, yes, that was what they called me. Gina, yes, agreed. That's why I had an allowance. You want things, earn the money to buy it. I had my first job by 14 and didn't stop working till after my son was born. There you go. All my kids have daily chores, Alyssa said. Tamara, I took my clothes last weekend to a consignment store. They turned me down, said my stuff was too old. Oh, wow. Unbelievable. Name brand stuff, and they still didn't want it, like new. Unbelievable. Sell it on Marketplace, on Facebook or something. I mean, if you have the patience to do it. I am bad with that stuff. I don't really have the patience to do all of that. You really, you got to stay on top of it if that's what you want to do. Poshmark is great for that too. But, you know what? I have too many things that I'm already not doing, so I'm not going to make one more thing. Anyone can change if they want to change. Okay, Michael Stamos. Karen Stacy. Hold on. Oh, I got to sneeze. God bless me. Okay. Karen Stacy needs to delegate some authority and get a wardrobe assistant. Let them keep track of everything. Oh, yeah. Okay. I need that, Michael, but, I ain't getting it, but thanks anyway. Then again, some people will never change. That's true, Alyssa. That is the truth of the matter too, is that a lot of people won't change. And you know why they won't change? Because they don't recognize that they need to change. That's the problem. And that's real talk right there. People, I've spoken to a lot. I mean, I know everybody's deepest, darkest secrets, right? And people don't realize the impact that maybe their upbringing or certain relationships have had on them, right? So, is it raining out? So, if you don't recognize that what happened to you in the past, you haven't worked through, then you don't recognize that you need to change certain things. And when people recognize that they need to change certain things, it's usually because something catastrophic took place that pulled them back, right? So I'll give you a for instance. Totally not the same thing, but some of us in life, we learn quickly, and some of us in life never get it. So what do I mean by that? I mean that when you have like a solid, good human that basically follows the law, follows the rules, does the right thing, when we do something wrong and we get called on it, we won't make that mistake again. For instance, they put in a red light camera a block and a half away from my house. I go down that, I made that turn 8,221 times. I get something in the mail that it was a red light ticket. Red light ticket, where we live, you can make a right on red. What do you mean, red light ticket? So I had my son look at it. I'm like, what if, did mommy do something wrong? He's like, it doesn't look like it to me. There's another car in front of you. So there was a phone number, and I called. And I said to the woman, I'm not really sure what happened here. Why did I just get a ticket for this? So she said, well, you did not come to a full stop before you made the turn. Now, it's a hill. So from above, you can see if there are any cars to the left so you can make the turn. So as I come down the hill, I see there's no cars there. I can make the turn. Not realizing, you know, even at a stop sign, how many of us come to, we do a rolling stop, depending, right? Depending on where it is, right? I think we all do rolling stops. So she says, you know what? Let's look at the videotape. So she looks at the videotape, and she says to me, you didn't stop. And I said, well, I could see. So I live right there. I make this turn 100 times. She goes, well, this is a new red light camera, and we are getting a lot of people over here. And the car in front of me did the same thing, and they got a ticket too. So she said to me, you can appeal it in the mail, write a letter to the judge stating that you recognize that what you did was wrong, and that now you are aware of it. So I did write the letter, and I'm waiting to hear back from it. But the moral to my story is I went that way coming home a couple of days ago. And in my head, as I was approaching that hill, in my brain, I said, make sure, and this is everywhere now, but in particular here, because of the fact that, you know, I got busted for making a turn there, I made a note in my head, when you get to the bottom of the hill, you better make sure you stop before you make the turn. My son says to me, Mom, don't forget when you get to that light, that's where the camera is, make sure you stop. So there you go. That's change. That's a lesson learned, because when you are a rule follower, when you abide by the law to the best of your abilities, you know, when you live your life to truly be, you know, on the right side of things, you learn fast from your mistakes. So you can change, but the point is that sometimes we don't recognize that we need to change, right? And a lot of times, even though changing will benefit us directly, it will benefit the people that we love more so. Because the better we are, the better we can be with and for others, right? Remember my analogy on the airplane, right? When the cabin pressure goes down, the mask comes down, put it on yourself first before helping others. Because if you do not put the mask on yourself first and you put the mask on someone else, that's the only person you are capable of helping. So when the mask comes down and you put the mask on yourself, now you can help everybody around you. But most of us that are givers and that are helpers and everything else, the first thing we would do is help somebody else before we helped ourselves. So always, always, always make sure you cannot pour from an empty cup. Make sure your cup is full so that you can give to everyone else. If your cup is empty, you cannot pour from it, and no one will benefit from that. So you got to remember that. So yes, change, I think change is necessary. I think change is good. I get bored really quick, and I love changing it up. I'm not one of those people that are afraid of change at all. I love it. I love it. I'll go from like being bleach blonde to being to dyeing my hair black. I don't give a shit. I love it. Change. I get bored. So, even now, like changing up my schedule and doing the show Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, like this is exciting to me because I look forward to it. When I was doing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then trying to still live life a certain way, it was challenging and it became a chore to me. Now it's not a chore. I look forward to being here with you guys. I always look forward to being here, but meaning that I can balance things now and I change it up. And I'm going to change it up again because that's just what I do. I love change. So I am going to try to embrace changing myself for the better, learning more things, and changing my mindset because I've been living in this mindset of, you know what, just get through the day, Kat. That's all you got to do is get through the day. And now it's going to be 7 years on Monday that I have been getting through the day, and I am grateful that I get through every day. But now I have to start getting through the day, and I need to be more productive, and I need to hold myself to a higher regard. It's time for me to change and implement these changes. So I implore you guys to try to implement change. Just like I was telling you guys about reading, right? So I got that book, and I'm going to be straight up with you. By the time I go to read, I'm too tired, and I don't read the book. So I told all of you guys to read the books, right? I said, whoever doesn't read, let's read together. And I fell off that. I haven't been doing it. I pick it up every now and again, but I haven't been doing it. Bad. I need to be consistent. You said you were going to read the book, and you only read a little bit of it, and you're not continuing with it. So I hold myself accountable. I realize that I'm the one that's shit in the bed right now, but this is what I do. I focus on certain things, and then my focus goes to something else, and then it goes to something else. But you gotta, how many people start things and don't finish them, right? Hello. So it's very important to try to see something through, because what happens a lot of times is we start something, we see a little bit of a change, but then we don't follow it through. So it doesn't have a form of completion, and it's still open-ended, right? All right, let me see thank you guys for tuning in to Coffee Talk with Karen. I guess I lost everybody because past couple of days we've had great attendance on here. Today's attendance sucks moose cock. I guess nobody wants to know about change. And that's the truth, too. There are a lot of people that don't want to hear it. But that's a whole other story. And those are the people that won't listen. So thank you guys for tuning in to Coffee Talk with Karen. We are live on MiamiMikeRadio.com. We are live on Facebook on the Karen Stacy page. Hit the thumbs up button. Turn your notifications on. Join the Real Talk Coffee Talk group. You can invite your friends and subscribe on YouTube and Twitch. Real Talk Karen Stacy. Let me see the comments here. Where am I here? Okay. Hold on a second. I went too far on the comments, and I'm going to... Okay, so Michael said, yes, if you make the effort, yes, you can change. Break some habits. Tough, but you can do it. Work on myself to get better in many ways. Just takes focus and commitment. And yes, we stumble, but you have to keep going. Absolutely, I agree. Okay. Sounds like you have a plan. I don't know, Andrea. I'm trying. Now just execute. I know. I'm trying. Karen Stacy, you're outgrowing your house. I outgrew my house 5 minutes after I was here. Oh, snap. Video paused. I'm not sure why. They're set in their ways. Andrea, unfortunately, I am the type that always learns the hard way. So many of us. I agree with you. Me too. Some won't change, Jose, some won't change because they are institutionalized to negative habits. In other words, someone's messy room can possibly reflect how they feel inside. And you know what? That's probably, I agree with that. And that's very true. So that's why, like, you have to get to a point where you get fed up and need to make that change, right? Terry... Oh, Terry's at work. She doesn't want anybody to know. About revamping your walk-in closet. Yeah, Andrea, I hear that. Good morning, Karen at the doctor's. Okay, good morning, Laura. Tony, anyone has the opportunity to change, but some like change and some don't. I hate change. Well, there you go. I love change. Like I said, I really do. Andrea, thank you for the motivation. I have some changes to be made myself. You know what? That's why I'm here, Mama. That's why I do this. Because you know what? Even though some of you guys may be like, wow, that girl got some issues or whatever, I don't really give a shit. Because there are other people out there that are struggling the same way that I'm struggling. And maybe if, we talk about it and not keep brushing it under the rug, we can all help each other and empower one another to make changes. Carmela, are you still on here? Like, I don't know where everybody is. I'm not seeing a lot of comments from people here. But that's what it's all about. And that's why I try to do this, because I try to invoke those things in people. Sometimes you need that poke. You need to be reminded, of these type of things, because we all get set in our ways. And the truth of the matter is that if somebody close to you tells you that, you're going to tell them to fuck off, right? If my son was like, Ma, this house is a mess, like, you better do something, I would be like, I'm sorry, what? But when somebody says it, like right now, I'm talking to everyone and all of us, then you say to yourself, like, you may look around and go, you know what, this house is a mess. Like, I need to straighten this up. And then we do it on our own. But when people tell us we need to do it, that's when we send them to hell in a handbag, right? Just saying. Good morning, Fabian. How are you? Good morning to the family as well. Okay, Gina, Karen, thank you. Needed to hear this today. Realize that there are some things I can change. Aw, I love you too. Yeah, I mean, we all have things that we can change. And anybody that thinks that they don't need to change, you need to change the way you're thinking, because we always, always have room for change. I think we can always be better today than we were yesterday. That's what I think. And the great thing about having a new day is that we have a fresh, clean start to be better today than we were yesterday. And even if you were fabulous yesterday, you can be more fabulous today. That's what I think. And if you weren't fabulous yesterday, then get fabulous today. All right. Yeah, I thought you were gone, Carmela. I was wondering. I don't know what's up today. Everybody left me today. We have poor attendance. Oh, well. Good morning and good afternoon, Ricardo. Thank you for joining us. All right. So it is Thursday. I will see you guys on Tuesday for Coffee Talk. I am going to ask you, since I believe in the power of love and prayer, I'm going to ask each and every one of you for some extra love on Monday. August 2nd, 7 years ago, was the last day that I spent with my husband. And it is a horrible day. So if you guys can send some prayers to myself, my son, my family, it would definitely be greatly, greatly appreciated. So I hope you guys have a great weekend. I will not be on tomorrow. I'm actually getting to see my mother for the first time in a year tomorrow, which is going to be very difficult for me. My mom has dementia, so I'm going to go tomorrow. I figure I'm just going to hit myself with a lot of reality over the next couple of days. So, prayers up. And I send you guys much love. Remember, tomorrow isn't promised, so don't be an asshole today. Don't always think that the grass is always greener. You have no idea what's going on in somebody's home, in somebody's heart, and in somebody's life. So please remember that, and be kind and be humble. And I love you guys. I hope you have a great, great weekend. And I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Love you. Ciao. Thank you for tuning in on MiamiMikeRadio.com.